And right now it's time for that time when we have our special guest. Tonight's special guest is Ray Woolf. Ray is about to commence a 1-month season in the Broadway classic Anything Goes. 4 great weeks of anything going at the Civic in Auckland, starting September the 29th to the 22nd of October. A big thanks to Ray for tonight's competition prize. 3 lucky viewers can win a double pass, so stay tuned for our special guest. Ray Woolf, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you, Jared. At last.
Not often we have a big star in the studio. Wow. And you're here today because you're in a, what would we call it? Anything Goes? It's Cole Porter, of course.
It's a Hollywood musical. Yeah. It's a real American musical out of the 30s or the 40s, somewhere around there. But I mean, it has the dancing, the tap. You know, we've got 40 people on stage. Yeah. Fabulous young dancers. You know, I always thought the best dancing I'd seen. I was lucky enough to do the Australian version of West Side Story at Aotea for 6 weeks, back about 6 or 8 years. And the dancers on that show were fantastic, but these kids on this show are just as good. It is just brilliant.
A little bit about Anything Goes. It's a Cole Porter,
yes, it is.
Written by Cole Porter.
Yes, it is.
Of course, it's nice and colourful, and it's great to see a stage show, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amongst all the media or the electronic media, you're seeing live people.
Yeah, this is Penny Dodd, musical director, 17-piece orchestra.
Wow.
Yeah. So
now, where is it playing?
It's playing at the Civic, and it opens on the 27th of this month, September, and runs through to the 22nd of October.
And what role is Ray Woolf playing?
Well, I get to play a guy called Elijah J. Whitney, who's a New York tycoon, and he drinks a bit, and he's a bit short-sighted. So I won't give too much away, but you know, because of his little problems, he runs into a few troubles himself, you know. But when I was first offered the show, I thought, you know, I'm not getting any of those great songs. Like I Get a Kick Out of You, and the title song Anything Goes, and Dear Lovely. And how am I going to be able to sit there each night and listen to other people singing those great songs? But Jackie Clark's got the lead, and she's one hell of a singer, so I can put up with that night after night.
Anyway, our viewers, in fact, they're going to have the chance to win some tickets to Anything Goes, and we'll talk about that later on. Okay. But so have pen and paper ready. But Ray Woolf, I mean, you're so busy at the moment. There's a television show called Nothing Trivial. Is that, I've seen it, and you're on that as well?
No, I got 2 episodes of that, playing Shane Cortez's character, Mac. I play his father. Yeah. Things have changed a bit.
You were going out with a younger woman on the show, I see.
Well, I tried the daughter first, and then I got the mum, you know. But just my character, of course.
So how busy are you, Ray? How busy? What's it like?
Busy enough. You know, I'm still doing gigs. I work occasionally with the Roger Fox Big Band, and we'll be on the road again in November. And we'll be in Palmerston North, we'll be in Upper Hutt, we'll be at Taste Martinborough, which we've done for the last 5 or 6, 7 years. Yeah. I work with the fabulous trio, Mike Walker, Bruce King, Pete McGregor, and we're still doing a lot of gigs around the place. And of course, I'm lucky enough occasionally to get shows like Nothing Trivial on television and Anything Goes on stage, musicals. So, you know, I've been lucky. It's been 50 years now.
Now, let's start at the beginning. When did Ray Woolf, you came to our shores in what year?
1962. Jumped on a boat in Tilbury as a working class young lad of 17.
17,
and, yeah, and I'd been in a few bands, been doing it since about 13, relatively seriously. And then got off the boat in Wellington and came to Auckland.
What can you remember? What's your first memory of New Zealand?
All the pretty houses coming up the harbour.
Really?
It was a diamond of a day.
In Wellington?
Yeah, Wellington Harbour, diamond of a day. Beautiful, blue, clear. They get them once every now and again down there. And all the coloured houses, that was the first thing that I noticed. And then we stood on the wharf because we got in about midday maybe, and we had to get the train up that night. And we stood on the wharf for a while. It blew like hell. But yeah, that's my first memory was Wellington Harbour. It was stunning.
Had you arrived in New Zealand intending to stay here forever, or was it just a visit?
Mum and Dad emigrated. So it was pretty clear that, I mean, I think Mum and Dad had probably ideas that they may do the 2 years and then if they didn't like it, they'd go back. And I'd been offered a contract in London by a guy called Alan Paramore, and brother of Norrie.
Oh.
And
the Shadows, Cliff Richard, we all know.
Absolutely,
Well,
Helen Shapiro.
Yeah.
And he said to Mum and Dad, look, there are 500 or so young men in London, in Birmingham, in Liverpool, in Manchester, in Glasgow. I'm not talking about the groups and the girls, just men, young men, under contract, waiting for something to happen. Go to New Zealand. He can always come back. If he comes back in 2 years, he'll still only be 19.
Yes, exactly.
And so we decided to come. And I really, after that first couple of years, never wanted to go anywhere else. You know, I just loved it here. And, I just loved the lifestyle, the fishing, the beaches, the country, the empty roads. Loved it all. Just loved it all. And of course, I was very lucky because I very quickly became kind of well known. I toured with Helen Shapiro the first year. Eldridge Stebbing picked me up, and toured with Helen Shapiro that first year, and made some records. You know, so I was real lucky, and got quite well known. And I mean, then we got on to do the television shows, the come-ons. I did a few of those. A lot of happening.
Yes.
Which, of course, all that television stands me in good stead to this very day.
Now, did Mum and Dad ever go back, or?
Oh yeah, I mean for trips.
Oh, they stayed.
But Dad's unfortunately passed away. But Mum is
still here, isn't she?
Oh yeah, and they'd been back for trips to the UK, but I've never been back.
Yeah. You've never been back?
Never. No.
Wow.
My wife Chrissy and I are kind of thinking about it over the last few years. She's never been, and I've got cousins and relatives there that keep saying, "Come on, come on, come on." So we're thinking about it maybe in the next couple of years, but. But I've been on the Google thing and I've looked up the street I used to live. It's pretty much the same.
They had a department at Television New Zealand called the Light Entertainment Department, didn't they? And they seem to have, it's all gone with the wind, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And we should have that today with Television New Zealand. Hundreds of thousands of baby boomers, our age group, would still love to see a Ray Woolf show. I mean, you were wonderful on that show.
The question I probably get asked most when we play clubs and RSOs, we play a lot of RSOs, and when we play concerts, we do concerts. And my audience now, of course, is 40, 50 plus.
Yeah.
And the question I get, why don't we get the TV shows like we used to have? What's going on?
Yes.
And I just hope that audience now is so huge. I mean, even politically, that age group, 50 up, is so huge that someday some people might take some notice. So that's why I have great admiration for shows like Good Morning and this show, because they're the only people that are striving to put our people on television.
Well, the problem, of course, is the 30-year-old program director who got the job 3 years ago has no idea of the history of New Zealand and its entertainers. That's the problem, isn't it?
I mean, I think it's also kind of expensive to produce these programs, but I guess you can produce Dancing with the Stars kind of cheaper. I don't know why they do it, but
so
there's this element of competition. Don't get me started, Jared.
Now, in America, of course, if you look at America, you've got your Tony Bennett's. You saw older men were able to make wonderful end of the years careers, weren't they? With Frank Sinatra and of course Tony Bennett. I mean,
80 odd.
Yes,
and I just saw a clip. Excuse me, but I just saw a clip this morning of Tony Bennett and Amy Winehouse. They've just got some tapes together of those two doing duets, and they're in a studio somewhere. Stunning. Yeah. I mean, that man is just stunning, fabulous, fabulous singer, and that he can still leg it with somebody like Amy Winehouse. He's like, probably, how old was she when she died? 27. What is he? 80 odd. Fantastic.
But what I'm trying to say here is, you could be our next Tony Bennett. But what were your musical influences? You think back to then when you were 17. What really turned you on, and what made you want to be a singer and an entertainer?
Elvis Presley.
Elvis, he was wonderful.
Eddie Cochran, Little Richard. That whole rock and roll breakthrough, I mean, I came through the skiffle thing with Lonnie Donegan was a great influence on me.
Yes, exactly.
Because I remember seeing him when I was very young on black and white television, and the energy that man had, he almost came out of the TV. He was just unbelievable.
The Rock Island Line and
the Rock Island Line and all that stuff, and then I mean that kind of hooked me, and I was always very musically. I mean, I liked Al Jolson and people like that because Mum used to sing a bit and she used to play those records. But when Elvis came, then I was gone. Just this kind of different thing and the energy, And from then on, I thought, that's what I want to do. And they were my earliest influences. Yeah.
And what about singing today? How's the voice?
You know, I
years?
really concentrate more on standards these days, the kind of things that Tony Bennett would sing or Frank Sinatra would sing. In fact, we did a Frank Sinatra tribute with the Roger Fox Big Band 2 or 3, 4 years ago. So that's where I am now. That's the stuff I really enjoy singing. But especially with Mike Walker and Bruce and Pete, we often slip in a couple of rock and roll songs just to prove that we still can. But I can't. I have to just keep taking the pills. How I used to do 2 hours of singing rock and roll, I don't know, because I certainly couldn't do it now. But I can do a full concert of standards, no worries. And I think the voice is handling that stuff quite well. You know, it doesn't seem to be getting any worse. I mean, I listen to some of the tracks that I did in the 60s and my voice is a lot higher and I can't get up there anymore. But,
What's the biggest thrill today, say you're doing a concert, and is the buzz still there to be
That's
an
what it's all
entertainer?
about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course it's still
All
there.
the planets line up, don't they?
You know, most of us, you know, you've had a lot of entertainers on this show and I'm sure most of them have expressed to you that very, very few of us are in it for the money. Because if we were, we wouldn't be doing it, you know. So it is that buzz and that satisfaction and that thrill. And when people are happy and smiling, you know, you're making people forget about all the other drama that they might have in their lives for a couple of hours and have a good time, you know.
That is a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
And the fact that they allow you to do it and they like you doing it, you know. I mean, you feel kind of happy about it and privileged about it, you know.
When's the next opportunity for our viewers to catch a glimpse of Ray Wolf in
Live?
action? Yeah, live.
Well, we're at Taste Martinborough again for about the 6th or 7th time. That's, I can't remember the exact date, but it's somewhere around about November 20, somewhere around about there. The night before that, we're in Upper Hutt, when we had a fabulous night there last year, jammed to the doors, and really good night. And on the Friday, we're in Palmerston North at the RSA, which we've also done about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years in a row now. So.
Well, that's Ray Wolf singing, but of course, there's a stage show starting very soon at the Civic. It's Anything Goes. And we promised our viewers, we said to them that they could win 3 tickets, 3 double passes. Thank you very much, Ray, for bringing those passes in.
Thanks for having me.
What we do need is a question.
The question is, what year did I come to New Zealand? What year did Ray Wolf come to New Zealand?
Ooh. Can I give them a clue, Ray? Can I give them a clue?
Sure.
Rhymes with 2, 1962. Oh, they will give it.
Oh.
So please, viewers, if you want to go and see Anything Goes, see Ray in action, email Jared at The Beat Goes On, and just in the subject line put 1962. That was the year that Ray arrived in New Zealand, and it's been fantastic that he did come to these shores. You could have gone to Canada, could have gone to America, Australia, but you chose New Zealand. Why New Zealand, by the way?
My mum had a brother and a father here, so that was part of the pull. And I think that's why they decided that they'd probably come here.
Ray, like to say thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be a wonderful show. Anything goes.
Yeah, anything.
Thanks, Ray.